welcome in. I'm going to show you everything I've done to this canvas so far. It's the Paint with Josh experience. And we're here. Let me get you guys zoomed in. Had to grab a little charger there. There we go. Gorgeous. It's fantastic. Okay. One little bang. There we go. All right. You guys are looking good. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit over here. Zoom you in a little bit over here. And then we're going to be fantabulous, everybody. Welcome to the show. You guys. It's Paint with Josh. We're back in the studio with you guys again today. It's going to be fantastic. So, tell you what I've done. I have a 20-inch by 24-inch canvas. Kind of odd and in the middle of different canvas sizes, right? I took my Liquitex black gesso and covered out this whole area in the black gesso, and then I let it dry. Then I took our Bob Ross liquid clear and covered our black area when it came time to paint this painting, and then covered our white area in our Bob Ross liquid white. So, the whole canvas is wet and slick and ready to go. Now, I'm figuring maybe we did a sunset one last night. Let's do a blue sky today, just because I love the old blue skies. All right, we'll start dropping it onto our canvas. We don't even need to blend it out. You can, right? You can take a little bit and blend it down here and do this and do that. But we have a lot of paint on the brush when we first get it off of the palette, right? That way, we're just kind of blocking in all this color and not really worrying about what it looks like until we go back and blend it again, right? But just like that, make a cool little blue sky. Let's have a little bit of our midnight black as well. We gotta come in from the top first just to see how much is gonna be on the brush. And then let's come in from the bottom. Yes. Just this whole big dark section down there. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's really all you need. And then again, we'll go back and we'll blend it out. All right, we'll take our little blendy pants and we'll do all sorts of stuff. Get a little of our purple too, just because I want to see a little of that dioxazine purple color and not too much. We put on too much and we're not going to like it, but it mixes with that blue and the black, and we're trying to leave a little open area of white over here just so we have less paint on the canvas when it comes time to paint our clouds, right? We just want a little bit less. Now, with all the paint on that brush, it's very hard to get it spread out evenly when you have too much paint, right? The amount of paint is the first P of paint adjustment. What's the second P? Does anybody know? And I'll give you extra credit if you know the third P of Paint with Josh. The second, the third. What are they? Let me know right now if you know them. If you don't know them, then check the comments because there's tons of people that do know them. And it's going to be really cool. Really cool. Boom, 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 you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is come into our white area first and just start to crisscross. We want to get a little of that white, that liquid white paint that's up there onto our brush. And then once we get out into our colors, it won't want to grab it so much and move it into that lighter area. Now, here's another thing. We don't need this light color, this white spot over here, to remain bright white. We want the other colors to soften it and kind of dull that bit of brightness. Right? If we have too much bright white out there, we're not going to be able to tell the difference between our clouds if it's all the same amount. Right? The only reason why we leave it uncovered is because we don't want our clouds to go too bluey when we put them up there, right? Just like that. Oh, it's fantastic. You've already got a wicked cool looking sky. Right? Now, if we came in here and grabbed a little of our titanium white, which we need more of, don't you find that you go through the white the most out of any color that you use? Right? What color? That's a good question, actually. What color do you use the most? Right? You might like a certain color more than other colors, but what do you find that you're actually using the most of when you're out there painting? Right? I'm come in here and grab a little bit of my titanium white, well, a lot of it. You see what I'm doing? I'm plunging it in. It's even changing the shape of the brush because the paint is so firm, right? And then out here, let's kind of cut through that light section so we can still see some light blue sky above, a little bit darker blue, a little bit of our black color. Let's roll that color and that brightness down, pushing as hard as we can on this brush, trying to get as much of that paint to deposit off of the brush and onto the canvas. All right, then we can come in with our Paint with Josh 1-incher. Bang, just like that, the old soft and flop we call it. Because the bristles are a lot softer, you can get cool little wispy little things to pop out all over your cloudy sky. Look at this, you guys, that's fantastic. Right, what are we trying not to do? Get too much color into our dark area and have our color grow down too far, right? We need it to eventually mix in with this darkness so we can come back in with a whole nother cloud, right? A lot more paint. Not more than what it was, but a lot of paint, right? Because down here in that darkness, it's going to blend away faster, right? If we want it to stay bright, we have to leave that bright area. But down in here, we want them to get darker. And so we put that paint on and let it mix down and mix down and mix down. However you want it to look, right? That's exactly how it goes out there. However you want it to be is exactly how it's going to be, because you're in control. You get to mix it, you get to pull, you get to push, you get to do all this kind of stuff out there. Because there's nobody there to tell you not to, right? That's why I love painting. There's nobody here to tell me not to do anything, to tell me that that's the wrong way to do it, right? Nobody out there is there telling you this or that or the other, right? You get to decide what it's going to look like out there, okay? Now, let's come in here, we'll mix up our Paint with Josh plaque before we do anything with our water. And then I'll tell you all the colors that I've put onto this plaque area, right? If you're just tuning in, let me tell you what I've done so far to the canvas. Okay, I initially blacked out this area with my Liquitex black gesso, let it dry. When it came time to paint this painting, we put the liquid clear on there, put our phthalo blue up into here, and then we're using a very odd mixture today. I don't know how it's going to come out. May be cool, may not be, but it should be a lot more realistic because we're using our Van Dyke brown and our phthalo green and our phthalo blue down into our water area, right? So it should be more realistic than anything else. Now, let's get into here. What are these three colors that we make or mix together in order to create our Paint with Josh plaque mix? P-L-A-C-K. Might give you an idea as to the color just based off of how you spell it, right? It's a very purplish, blackish mixture. And we call it Paint with Josh plaque. Just like that. Now, let's grab our Paint with Josh fan brush. It's so cool to have your own brush line, to have your name on a set of brushes. It's literally the neatest thing ever. Now, remember, the Paint with Josh brushes are for fine details. They're not for holding lots of paint or doing big things too much. Right? Oh, man. Look at that for a little tree out there. Just tapping it down, and we'll come down here, and we'll tap a little buddy next to him. Maybe he's got some living in between, or they're over here, they're up over there, right? All these crazy things just growing out in the night, right? Take this guy, we're gonna just take him all the way off the top of the canvas, this crazy old bit of tree. But it's gotta be all rough like that. You can't just do black gesso straight down, because we're gonna be looking for that texture and those little bits and the tip tops and all that stuff. It happens out there, guys. I'm telling you, this is literally my favoritist of all places to go, is right out here to this beach. And today we're painting the opposite side. Normally we paint the left-hand side because that's the side that I look at the most often. And today we're painting the right-hand side of Hesida Cove, down there in Florence, Oregon, right on the beach, baby. Right in here. All we're doing, taking that plaque mix, tapping out a little tree shape, and then filling in the base. Right, wherever it is down here, fill it in so we can't really see through the bottom. You can see through the tops, and you can have some bits and little things where the light kind of creeps its way through. But for the most part, we want them to be very dark on the bottom. Right, and we got a little bit here. That guy's over there. Who knows? Who knows what yours look like until you get out there and do it, right? You gotta get out there and do it, guys. Now, let's come over here because maybe we got one little guy. Well, he's a massive old tree, but he's got a little bit of detail out here just to show us what all these other little trees and hash mark little things are. We got some branches on our little friend out here, right? That is gonna make him stand out as being more detailed, bigger, older, right, than all these other trees. Because he's been out there on the coast just growing for years, man. Maybe hundreds of years. You never know. Just like that, tapping it in right around the base. So all the color that's around the base is taken out. It kind of blends itself black in with that black of our canvas, right? Now we're going to take a little touch of that same black mix. Let's come out here and let's sort of jiggle our brush around. Just make a little rocky shape. Who cares what it looks like? Bang, right there. It's our little bit. It's our little thing. Maybe it goes all the way out to the edge. Maybe there's a little hump right here. Just putting it in with my fan brush and then blacking out or placking out everything else underneath it. That way, we'll have this supremely dark thing out there on our horizon, right? You can come out here with our palette knife. We want it to be real, like, sharp on the edge. Bang, just like that. Boop, right down there. The water's coming in, you guys. It's coming in. It's coming in. There we go. Okay, now let's go back over to our brown colors. We're going to mix our dark sienna brown and the Van Dyke brown together because these guys make a really cool, rocky kind of a feel. If you have some yellow ochre, you can throw that in there too. Just helps give it more of an orangey kind of look. And you want to leave it just like that, where you have all these stripes right through here. If you have all those stripes, you come and remove a section of paint, and you can get out here and just start kind of tapping at our little rocky area, just to give it a few little bits of brown out there, right? It's going to look rough because you're going to have all this texture, right? And that's going to make it look more realistic to me, because out there, you've got all these breaks and little different places in our rocks that you just can't see, right? You can't see everything. Let's take a bit of white and brighten this guy up too. Now we can come in with some highlights on top of this little friend out here. Little places. Not everywhere is going to be as bright, or vice versa, as dark, right? So maybe we connect the brightness over there. Maybe we grab this guy up and work himself down and down and down. Just having little things out there, hanging out, just chilling in the night, right? Now, let's take a little bit of this color off the backside, and we're just going to mix it up, just soften it. So I mean, just take away the thick, textury detail of it. Because when we start coming in here with our waves and our crashing water and our mist that's going to roll up into our forest, we need it to transition into that little rocky area like that, right? Just a little bit of craziness, literally. And then we'll go push on it with our brush and kind of make these two colors intermix between each other, the darkness and the light. And that's going to help bring our mist and everything. Let me just push against this little guy and get a couple little crashers out there. A few little crashers against the thing. And we never know what it's going to look like until we do it. So let's get out here. We'll start mixing up. Actually, let's grab one of these little guys. We're going to tap into our darkness, bring it down into the light. Tapping it up and down and up and down and up and down. The whole time, changing the colors, intermixing, having the light color become darker and the dark color become lighter. Right? Get it down in there. You can mix it up into however bright you want it to be. As we know, we can go add more rocks or more forest or more whatever as we're getting closer to us. Right? It's very cool. Very simple, neat little technique. You throw some stuff out there in the night. Swipe up on these little guys. Bang, just like that. Now, let's imagine, just for a hot second, right, that if these guys were kind of crashing up against the shore, we need a lot of paint on our brush. So keep them a little bit bright, right? And let's start to drag a little bit of those guys away. Right there, just like that. Nothing too crazy. Oh, I like the color of that water. That's very realistic to what it is down there on the coast, guys. I'm digging it. Okay. Let's get out here, and all it is the Van Dyke brown and the Phthalo green and the blue just mixed like crazy, so they intermix with each other over there. All right, let's pull out our white right down here. Come out. Let's say some of these guys, they zip out, and then we're going to take this real sharp down around like that, right? You can get crazier. It's almost like we're going out, and we're coming down, just wiggling back and forth with our knife. Don't need to do much. Have it come down this way, right? Is all we need to do. Bring it down. Now we're going to take all that brightness from the front. This is so weird to my hand. You know what I mean? I'm so used to doing it the other direction that this is very strange to me. Very strange. Look at that. Oh, guys, I like it. I like it. Remember, every time we do these things, we do a little different. We use a little different color. We do a different thing over here. Maybe we got a whole nother bit of wave rolling in that side. All right, streaking it out, dropping it down, working it back. Not everywhere has to be all bright or all dark. Right, this guy, a bit of brightness down over there. That's looking cool. All right, we'll start coming back, dropping in these little whiter areas where we have our lighter colors. It's rolling up to the edge. Different little things. Different little things, guys. Oh, that is looking so cool. Just already looking cool. All right, get out here. This guy. That guy. However you want it to be. Right? You're the one that's out there deciding what it's going to look like. Now, let's take our knife and try to go a vertical angle over here. There we go. Little bits. Dropping it in. There we go. It's not too bad, actually. Ain't too stinking bad. A little brighter. Just leaving some dark areas is all we really need to do, right? Little places of dark, little places of light as it's coming towards us. That's looking really neat. Really neat. Maybe we'll extend it out just a bit. Out there. Right, a little further. Angles, right? It's all about the angles, you guys. The angles, the angles, the angles. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do off of this little guy back here. All right, we can take any amount of these little bits of white and drag them back until they're almost touching our next little piece of water, right? And when they're almost touching our next piece of water, that's when we move our brush away. Pull it back. We don't need all that stuff to touch out there. These little guys come down here, and we need a bit more paint to continue our little line down this way. Right? Gotta do it. Gotta have it. Even though you might look, or you take a look back and you think like, oh man, like that's not looking right. You know what I mean? You gotta continue to add that paint until you get this cool looking thing out here. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Okay, let's say we're gonna have, we know we got a bit of our water over there, so let's do a little bit of this, okay? Little biddle, just a little touch, a little biddle of this. You guys check in, tell me where you're watching from. And again, I've never done one from this perspective, so it's a learning process for me and for you, right? Always learning, you guys. Always learning. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It's looking fantastic. Now, we can come back and we can do different things with our rocks. We can do different things with our water. We can do different things with our sand, right? We can change the look of everything. We can do whatever we want to do, you guys. And that's the best part about painting, especially painting with Josh, right? Because we can always do something different. We can change the look. We can use a different color. We can do literally whatever we want to do. We can brighten up the edges, right? And that way something else will come in and stand off of that guy. Kind of contrasting its way off. Why don't we get a few more little rocks? We'll get a little bit of our darkness. Right, let's see, we came down onto this guy. Down into our water. Over there. It's got to be a little lower as it is back here, right? So you got a little higher. That would be right there. This guy's about a ½ inch lower, and it's coming into our water. That's what you need. As our water goes from, you know what I mean, making our little triangle, our land has to do the same thing. So it would come down this way, and then it would go down that way. You got to put it in, guys. I'm telling you. A little bit more of my darkness until I can get back here. Maybe add a whole another section of stone. Just more stone to the gate. Just all types of chunky rock out here, right? Just mushing on with full pressure on my knife, getting a little lower, a little lower, a little lower, but just having that mist in between automatically sets this guy apart from the backside, right? I never like it to be too odd looking or too flat, so let's make it odd, right? Make it look odd. This guy, we're gonna pop down over here. Now, we've come down from there to there to there. So we're dropping down each time, making our land and water look a lot closer together. That's the fun part. We can drag these guys out just a little, just to soften some of that texture out there. Boom. Now we got a very much bit of closer rock than we had before, okay? Now, let's get underneath that guy with our liquid white, or you could come back in with your brown shadows, and let's say we tapped in the darker brown back here, Just a little angle, like a little horseshoe or a shoe type of a thing. Come in here with the light color and just not try to fill every space with it, right? We still need to have the darkness in between those bits of light. You cannot just get rid of all of the dark. You'll have a flat looking rock. Right? If we can cover some of those areas with light, some of them with our browner, darker brown shadow, and then have that plaque mix in between, guys, it just helps. I'm telling you, it helps. I've tried many, many, many things. That's why I'm here. Right? I'm here for you because I've tried all these things before and failed so many times, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm your guinea pig, right? I'm the one that's doing all these crazy things to show you what you can do with these crazy old paints, right? I've failed, I've tried more times at different things than you've even thought about doing. And that's how you can get confident, right? When you've tried it and you've done it, and we take this guy and just drag him down a little bit. Too much paint on there, drag it down. Right? What do we want it to look like? All those dark areas picking up other places, so it's not all the same, right? That's what it's supposed to be. It's not all supposed to be the same out there, guys. Gals and painting pals, right? Never all supposed to be the same. A little bit of my liquid white. Just the liquid white on the knife. It's very runny, so be careful. There we go. A little bit. Okay, now, I know I'm going to have a little bit more. Let me grab a touch of my titanium white up here, just because. I'm going to drag it down, drag it underneath our little guy back here, and a little bit of our land, okay? Or rock, or whatever we're going to call it back there. All right? Drag it down, drag it back. There we go. Now we can kind of connect our lines just by scrubbing the paint together, literally, right? You don't have to do much. You don't have to do it all. You just got to scrub some paint together every so often. Just a little bit of paint scrubbaging. These guys up underneath, a little bit of liquid white on with our titanium white just to get them to bust against the shore. They're coming out. What if we had the same little thing? Little bits, a little bit of foam as it's rolling onto, and just very lightly dragging it backwards just to soften that deal, right? If it's too bright, you can always tap it or drag it away and then get back in there and make it look how you want to make it look, right? How does it look to you? That's the real question. What do you want it to be, right? Do you want it to be very bright on the front? Have it be very bright. You want it to be different? Have it be different. You want to use a totally different color? Do it. It's going to be fun. Literally going to be fun, right? I'm telling you, it's fun. When you get out there and try something new. A little bit of my brown back here. We'll go over with that lighter colors again. Tap on. Bring it down there. Got very bright. Let's remove the paint. Literally take it away. Scrape it off of there. Pick it up. Drop it down some other place. Right? Just having that one little gap right there. Hey, maybe not so big, but having that little thing is a little different. It's not the same anymore. We don't have the same light. It's getting a little bit brighter. We're getting a little closer. You know what I mean? We get to do whatever we want to do, you guys. Our shadows up a little bit higher, we can do it. We can do whatever comes to mind when we're doing these wicked cool paintings. It's totally up to us. All right, let's see. Get out here. We're going to start to extend a little bit. Kind of popping out and then down. Right, out and then down. Down, 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 down. Looks really cool. That looks really cool, guys. Now remember, as we get closer to us, we need it to look more watery. So we're going to add a little bit of our liquid white, and then that should help it kind of drop off of our knife a little easier. Right? Stay brighter on the front, even though we're wiggling and jiggling and pushing really hard on the paint, right? We'll stay nice and bright up here. We might get a little lip right off the front of our bit. It's just going to look rad, you guys. I like it. You know what we forgot to do, though? We forgot to put our blue from our sky down in here. This is where I want that blue from our sky. Right? I'm not going to try to grab any part of my wave yet. So hopefully you watched this part of the video before you did that part. of your wave. I always say, I never even know what it's going to look like, so I would watch the video first before you attempt to do it. And I've had many times, especially back in the day, people would say like, oh, I was watching you and you said, okay, I'm going to do this now and put in like a pond, and then you never did, but they did, right? They went and added a pond because they thought I was going to get there, and then I never went. So you have to watch the video before you paint the painting. That's what I always say. Because I could say something and then all of a sudden go the other direction just at the drop of a hat, because we're just making it up out here. A little bit of our liquid white. Let's go underneath this guy first. All right, the liquid white and the titanium white make a very runny, mushy thing. Right? Its consistency isn't very drippy, but it's not firm like it was before. All right, so let's get out here. Try to leave a disconnect in between our last bit of water and our new bit of, not water, but shine, right? Even though we're using the same paint that we used to make the water, when we add our liquid white, it's going to help it shine down here. It's going to be fantastic. Before I do that, one more little thing. A little bit of my small amount, right, of the dark sienna. Start from back here because it's going to be the darkest back there. And then as we get closer and closer and closer to the blue, we kind of pull our brush away, right? So that way it doesn't try to cover all that blue. It doesn't try to take it all away. Right down here, we push a little harder. Blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it. How far do you want it to blend? What do you want it to look like? A little bit of sand out there, guys. All up to us. Let's add a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown and the dark sienna. All right. Again, start back here. Dump it down. You can always add more paint, guys. It's very hard to take it away once it's up there. All right. Very light into the blue. Light, 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 light. Just basically blending it right here. Just blending it onto that blue and allowing that very soft, almost like a green color, to arrive. You don't have to blend your sand out perfectly. Just like that. Got a really cool little thing. See that little bit of blue in there? Little reflection action. Right, now we can take our liquid white, hold the brush vertically, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down, and that will give us this shiny, sandy look. The water, the watery wet area will now become very shiny, very much like it looks out there when it's nice and wet, right? Especially if we don't take away all the blue, it's not overtaken by all of the brown, and you get that wet little area. It just looks rad, if you're asking me, that's all. If you ask me, it looks a little cool out there, guys. So, check in, tell me where you're watching from. What time is it where you guys are right now? And remember, this one is available. It's over there on paintwithjosh.com, and it's a Pro Series canvas. Big old monster. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. That's all I need you to do. Just drop the comments down, give me a thumbs up, and then go back to watching and enjoying your regularly scheduled Paint with Josh programming. Just like this, bringing it down just until there's a smallest little dark separator underneath. All right, so back here, what do we need to do? We need to bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, just until that shadow almost goes away. Once it almost goes away, then that is exactly where you want your water to be. Right? Swiping off some of this thicker stuff because you get that foaminess and all sorts of craziness down around at the coast over there. You guys know it. You already knows it. Right? I guess that's the one advantage to doing a seascape like this. It's easier for me anyway to drag the knife across and leave little diamonds in situ. Very, very, very light little pressure. Look at that though. Fabulous. You guys. Let's bring this guy down a little bit. Bring him down, let him roll in, right? Not every single place is gonna be totally disconnected from its other wave. Right? There needs to be oddities out there. If there are not oddities, then it's all gonna look exactly the same, right? We don't want it to all look exactly the same. We want it to be out there and be crazy, man. Just get freaking wild. There's a bit out there. Dragging back little things, little things, little things as the water's creeping in. Right? Now we need a little bit more of our liquid white, because the liquid white is key for this pot right here. Right? Now, where does your water line come out? We need to scoop up the liquid white, and we're going to try to force it out the back of the knife. All right, so let's say, I don't want to get all the way up here and have it be too bright, so let's start down here. Just like that, pushing hard enough that we're forcing the paint to come out the back, right? Just out the back, just like that, just like on taco night. Over here, over there, pulling it, pulling it, pulling it, right? You need a little bit, get out there. You don't have to connect. Right? Maybe if you struggle with the knife going the other way, maybe this way might be easier for you. Right? The more that we pull back, the more little things you're gonna have back there, guys. Little bit. Little things out there. Oh man, that's looking cool. Right? Start sliding this guy back, adding little details, little bits of paint. I'm telling you, I don't want to put on too much. It's gonna be bad. Looks like footprints in the sand from my fingertip touching the thing down here. It's all right. Get rid of those guys. Maybe it's a crab shell. Who knows? Who knows what it is out there in the night? Let's come back. Let's grab a little bit more. Scrape it. Pop it out, and we pop out again, right? Because not everywhere is going to be the most straightest, perfectest thing that you ever did seen. Maybe dump out and chop out again. Who knows, guys? All up to us, though. Every time that we can do it, we're going to do it a bit different, right? Doesn't all have to be exact. Doesn't have to connect. You know, I kind of want this one too. Doesn't have to. Doesn't need to do anything that we don't want it to do, guys, right? Pull it out there, slide it back, slide it back, slide it back. If you can get any amount of it, just creep off the back side. Let it go backwards. Right? All we really need, let's say we came out off of this guy and back in, and just start connecting little places with little things, right? Because it's never all the same. It's never just one thing out there, or nothing heading back, or nothing coming in while that's heading out. Like, it's all going in different directions at all times, guys. Literally at all times. I like that. We didn't want to go this far out with our water, but I do like that. That is cool. So cool, guys, out there. And again, anything we can get to drag, just drag it straight backwards. Straight horizontal. We're not trying to go up. We're not trying to go at an angle. We're not trying to do anything. Right? The only angle is this angle. Everything else, straight back, straight back, straight back. If you want to get it up here, that means you have to go all the way from over here and drag it back that way. Okay? I'm telling you. I'm showing you. Let's get a little liquid white, a little of our titanium white on the old Paint with Josh fan brush. Drag it back like this. You know what I mean? I want to get back here. I'm going to start from way over there, just to allow a little bit of that sheeniness to slide its way back, right? Each time we do it, guys, another opportunity to do it a little different, which is what I love about painting so much. You can do different things, they can come out different ways, and everybody out there loves it. Let me connect that guy on too. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Starting to look cool, right? Where do you see it in your brain? Where is it connected for you? Where is it not? Where is it coming in? Where is it going out? You know what I mean? All these things we have to figure out on our own, do them, and then come back, try to replicate them or do them again or whatever. Or do them differently. We're doing differently each time. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Too cool for school, guys. That right there. And then if we can get a little bit of this color, there we go. Just to drag off right here, just brightening it up just with a little bit of white each time. There we go. There, until I had enough on my brush. There it is. Just like that. Fabulous. Just fan-stinking-tastic. And that white, our liquid white out here, right? You need it. You're going to want it because it's going to keep the edge very bright, right? And then it'll fade back into nothingness. skirts its way off of your knife. Very cool. Very, very cool, my friends. This guy, though, we're going to put our sandiness back here. Almost forgot. You guys. That's cool. That is cool. Okay, now let's pop in a tree or two while we're here, guys. Because we got to have just an old tree or two. We got to have some integrity. Have a tree or two, right? So, we're going to mix up our darkness, our Paint with Josh black mix. Get it all in there. Out here on the Oregon coast, we got lots of trees, man. Lots of trees. Whoo! Look at it. Look at that water coming in. That is rad. Right? Man, like I said, when you get out here, change your whole idea, or the whole look of it, just by adding a few more bits, connecting a few areas that I didn't like. Right? Just like that. It's your whole little guy. He's screaming in here. He's on the way. He's like, hey guys. Hey guys, all right. He is coming. Okay, let's see. I know I'm going to pop one of them big old trees right out here. So let's grab our Paint with Josh fan brush. You guys check in. Tell me where you're watching from. What time is it where you are right now? Let's see. We'll put our seashells in and stuff. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Don't worry. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. Thank you, Jay Schnelly. Beyond amazing, says the water against the shore is beyond amazing. I like that. Beyond meats. Okay, let's come in here with our Paint with Josh plaque mix. Launch it down. Right, getting a whole load of it. And let's say something lived way back here. Just about as big as you can imagine. All the way down from chop to bottom. The bottom over here. From chop to bottom. And we're going to dark it out. Right, just with that plaque mix. He now lives back behind that little rocky area. Right? Very, very cool. I never like them to be perfect, so give them a couple little humps and bumps as they're going down. Right? It doesn't have to be so straight. Just a weird little place. It'll give you a cool place to put a branch later on. Branch, my man. Right now, let's say, I don't know. We got a little friend right here too. Bang, living back into that area. You never can tell, guys, until you get out there and do it for your own self, right? Let's make him very skinny up here on the top. There we go. Gorgeous. Start tapping in with the most pressure that we can push against the canvas, right? That's what we do with this plaque mix. We're depositing it. A little eagle's nest out there. We make another one, right? Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything is going to be covered. You might see some of the trunk, you might not see some of the trunk. If you don't like how it starts looking, you can always go back in and fill it all in, right? Make it more thick down around the bottom, especially. Out there. So they're getting a little bit wider as they go out, but we're not overfilling everything. It's not overdoing it. And bottom one's way down there. Oh, you guys. I like that, he says. Okay, make this top part of our trunk just hidden a little bit more. There we go. Now, imagining all of our light coming in from this way, we're going to need to get some more of our brown mixes up, guys. The lighter brown and the darker brown. You got to mix it. Mix them together. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Let's take a little bit of this highlight that created and mix that into there as well, just to brighten up a touch. Not by taking white, just by using the highlight, right? Now, our darker side is going to be on the back. So the right-hand side, we'll put a little touch of our thicker oil paint, the brown that's going to be the trunk and the bark of all of our tree. All right, just by tapping, 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 tapping. You can go back up where it's real thick and then smush it down again, right? Just smacking against it and pulling away. Literally scraping up a roll just like we would if we were going to make a mountain, right? Coming in here, chapping it down. Make a mountain, chap it down. Over there, over there. Now we don't need all the brown all the way up to the front edge or the back edge, really. You can leave it nice and dark back there, right? Leave it darker. Just a little, there we go, covering this base. We'll put that lighter color into there and have it look really cool, guys. Okay, now, if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of that lighter color in as your tree bark, right, on the front, and have your lighter side. But, you guys know me, I love doing the sweatery trees, man. So maybe we get this guy just a little bit, a little touch right in there. You see, you have the light and the dark, plus the rounded plaque bit is really going to help you. I'm telling yous. Okay, now let's grab this little fan brushy poo. And I wonder if I have any of my yellow left that we could possibly use. Oh, it's there. It's still there. It's still usable. So we're tapping into the cad yellow right out here on the brush. And then we're just going to deposit a couple little bits of that brightness. Now, every time that we touch the canvas, it's going to drop off some of our yellow bit and pick up some of the dark bit. Well, we can't have that. So we got to wipe off our brush, go back to the yellow. And we're really, no matter how much you have the brush filled, we're only using the tips of the bristles, right? Just to get that little bit, that lighter color on there. You can go over your brown a little, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't all have to be exact, right? And because you have that darkness and your darker brown and your lighter highlight, which is this stuff right here, our little, our moss, our tree sweaters out there. Helps make it look round, don't it? Just don't it? Donuts. I'm hungry now. I was hungry before. Donuts. Got a little bit of it onto this guy. Little bit, maybe the smallest tappy touch right in there. Just to see a little bit of that moss climbing its way up there. On the ones that are more exposed, you can put more. The ones that are smaller and further away in the distance, I wouldn't do as much. Very, very cool, guys. Starting to look neat. Now, should we go and put branches on this guy, or should we put in our mega tree? Just about 2 or 3 times the size and the width of this guy. Right down here. Oh, he's perfectly spaced. So what do you guys want to see? Should we do some branches? Or should we put in our last big old tree right here in the front? I want a donut. I know, me too. Donuts. The mega tree. Mega tree. Goodness. Nothing but crackers. Not allowed to talk about food. Oh no. Well, I can't decide if we're going to get pizza later on or if we're going to do like, I don't know. I got to figure it out. Bailey's got a friend staying the night, so we'll have to see what the youngins want to eat. Now, this is going to be hard to do with my Paint with Josh brush because it's so thin and it holds a small amount of paint. What if we came down right here on the edge? Right, so already the brush is empty and we haven't even done, I don't know, 8 inches of our darkness. Remember, it's got to be wider. We can do it. Right? There's nothing that says you can't do it. It just takes a little bit more time. Filling it out, mushing it down, deciding what we want our shape to be, and then filling it in without it getting too bright, right? We don't want it, we don't want this color to be too bright. And if it does look bright on your screen, it's only because the bristles are going down in that direction. So you in fact want it very dark, so it contrasts against even the darkness back there, right? Oh, thank you for the lightning hands, Mark. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Oh no, was there Casper the Friendly Ghost was back here? Did you guys see his, like a ghost face or something? That's funny. That's funny. Let's make it a little wider. We'll take out the back half of his face back here. Again, just pushing it, making it wider than this little guy, wider than that little guy. It makes it look closer, right? Bigger, older, more monstrositive. Just humongo, ginormo gigantus, or whatever that. What's that word? Humongo gigargantus. It's something. It's something. I can't remember what it is, but it's something. You guys, right? Now, we're going to need, again, a ton, just a literal ton of the brown in order to make trunky bark on the back half, just the back half of the tree. We still need a ton of brown. Right? So we'll mix our 2 browns together, add a little yellow ochre if we can. Don't need to be too brightly yellowed up. Just a little bit. Mix it down, flatten it out, sweep it up, flatten it out again. There we go. Now we got this darker brown. We're going to come off the back side of our trunk. All right? Kind of tapping, mushing, tapping, tapping. Just literally. Or you can go like this. However you can get it to come off of the knife and attach itself onto here is exactly what you want to do. Again, whoosh, scrape up an enormous amount. Something that you definitely wouldn't want it to fall on your floor, right? Because that would be butt. If it came down and fell onto the ground or your carpet, oh my goodness. You definitely don't want that. Let's get out here, pop a little bit of it against the back edge. Again, it doesn't have to be super bright because it's our dark side, our shadows. Right? Let's mix a little bit of white into it, just a little touch. Little bitskis, and then we can come up the middle, just a little bit brighter color. Right? We get this brighter color up the middle, and then we do our mossiness on the front. Right? The old sweater trees. Tapping them in, tapping them in. Now, when you get done with this, it will be so textury when you're done and ready for it to dry and all that stuff that you can literally, you'll be able to feel the bark. You'll be able to run your finger. You'll be able to feel in between the little channels because I told you we needed a mountain of paint in order to make this guy, right? And now we've got to go brighten him up with our highlights and stuff. So make sure you've got enough liquid white in your little pile of cad yellow. In order for it to change its consistency. You know what I mean? Your cad yellow is very thick in its color. It's not going to drip out of the tube, you know what I mean? We have to thin it down in order to get it to stick to anything. Any of that other paint out there, we need to thin it down. Just got it right up there. Hiding our little tree base. Pop a couple little things down here. A little bit of light against the dark, right? Gotta have the dark back there. It doesn't work, you guys. I'm so honest with you. It just won't work without the darkness. A faded look to that guy too. Just by tapping at him a bit, right? Okay, now we're gonna grab our liquid white. Again, I'm telling you again, no matter how much paint you put on the brush, we're only using the tips of the bristles, right? So you might as well try to load it like this vertically, because then at least it's only going to be on the tip. Right? If it's up your bristles too much, it's just going to it's going to make you want to push too much. A little bit of my sap green in here as well. And if we push too hard, let's start at the bottom, so it'll be the brightest down here. If we push too hard and leave, you see how we're leaving gaps in between even the moss? It's still got to flow through and grow up all of these little gaps of our guys. So don't put on too much. Look what happens. Look at that, right? Our yellow instantly has a black tip on the end of it because every time we touch it, it's dropping off our highlight color and it's picking up that plaque mix. And they're doing a little trade skis right there on the brush, right in front of our eyes. Right? Tap down a couple little things, not trying to make them perfect, not trying to make them connect, not trying to do anything. Little things over in that. It gets harder as you come over into your barky area because you've got so much of that dark paint piled up on our canvas right here, right? So it starts to interact much faster. Go back, wipe your brush off. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of our liquid white to help it come off. Leave some gaps in between. Doesn't have to go everywhere. Doesn't have to be the brightest everywhere. And you absolutely have to have a dark side of the force. So don't let your bright go all the way around, right? Gotta have a bit of darkness back there. At least one little thing. It's gonna help make it look more rounded, my friends. My guys, my gals, my painting pals, right up on the edge, but we're not trying to cover all of the dark line either, right? You have to have a bit of darkness that's separating us from that background mist. See what I mean? Man, that's fantastic. Goodness, who is this guy? Little bits of mossiness. Now, let's clean off that brush, but keep it handy. We're going to be using it later on. And now we'll get our odorless mineral spirits. which is our paint thinner, our brush cleaner, whatever you want to call it. Right? Get that guy out onto our palette 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, however many. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. See, there's lots. And the liner brush does not hold a lot of liquid. So you need to dip it in about 5, 6, 9, 27 times in order to get it up here, right? Now, let's throw just a couple little boops, little bibs and bobs and little bits off of our trunk, right? Because not all of these guys get to grow into these branches. They don't all get to extend outwards. They don't all get to grow until, you know, some of them bust off. They literally break. They break off. Let's go away from our trunk too. Little thing, right? It's not even connected because it's coming from so high up on our tree. Whoop, little bits. Zip, off the back. Not all of them have to be the same size, nor the same direction. Zinc, right? Where do you want them to be? Little places. Whoop! As it's growing, it's getting further. Right? This guy, all of his branchiness is up on the tip top, way up there. He's not as full as this little friend over here. And this guy, we can only see the bottom of. That's rad. Zip. Maybe it's got a little bink and a little boop and a here, and one down there. Going out into the night. Wherever you want it to be, guys. Just try to keep it in the mist. If you keep it in the mist, you're going to be able to see it a lot better. If you're not keeping it in your lighter areas, right, then you're going to struggle to see things. Little flicks, little here, wherever. Wherever you want it to be. Right? Doesn't have to do anything. We don't have to have so many. Don't have to do whatever you don't want to do, guys. Literally, you don't have to do anything. So please, don't be like, oh, I can't do this because I don't have this or I don't like that or whatever. You know what I mean? You can do it. I'm telling you. In the bottom of my heart, I know you can do it. All you need is the right amount of the right supplies and a little bit of guidance from your old friend Peyton Josh. Right? That's literally it. Very cool, guys. Very cool, guys. Now, we can either go at it with our fan brush like we did before and kind of tap in those very minuscule little sweatery trees, or you can do it with your palette knife or whatever, however you find it easiest. Right? Maybe off of some of these guys, just on top. Don't need to do too much. Right? He's very far away, so we definitely don't have to do too much on him. Maybe this guy. So you can get a little bit of that sweater to ride on the top of it. It's not going to ride on the whole branch. You don't need it to be everywhere. Not everyone gets a little touch of the moss. Right? Only certain little guys out there. And only the biggest ones at the bottom are really going to catch it. Right? Now, let's go over here again, and we're going to go back into our thinner, which is our brush cleaner, about 6 or 7 times, with a full dipped brush, plunging it into the thinner, and then allowing it to drip like this. So it's drippy, dripping out, getting everywhere. That's how wet you want it to be. You want it like watercolor or ink or whatever. And you can just literally spin it around, spin our brush, pull it out. Let's say we came off of this guy. A lot more pressure on that Paint with Josh brush now because we've got these bigger branches that we have to do. We can even just miss the tree, come out here. Just like so, guys. Any way that you do it, just put it into the mist, right? If you can't see it with the black background, no one else is going to see it either. So wherever you go, pop it out, especially into the misty areas is where it's going to stand out the most. Right there. Drop it off this big old crazy tree. He's got one over there. He's got one off the backside too. You just can't see them all, right? If we could, what kind of a tree would that be? Over there, a couple little bits. Little things, right? Not every branch gets to grow. They fall, they break, they do all sorts of stuff. Oh, this guy just wants to be humongous though. He just wants to come down here. He's growing straight out. Oh man, kind of cutting in front of that other tree. He looks fabulous. Hello, my fabulous little friend. Over there, and pop a couple little dudes here, maybe one up there, right? You don't have to do too many. You do too many, it's just going to make it look a little closer. Popping them guys off over here, right? Where do you want it? drag it up that way. Oh, he's a scraggly little tree, you guys. I like him. I like him. A little bit of craziness, okay? Now, same thing. The liquid, the odorless mineral spirits is very wet, right? So we can sit there and dry it. Because you're going to want to miss that area. You don't need to touch directly on top of the spirits, right? You're going to want to go above it just slightly so you can deposit that stuff and retain your dark underside to your branch, right? Now back here we can cover a little bit more of it, but you need to have that darker rounded under bit to it. If you cover it all with your moss and all that stuff, it's just, you're gonna have like a flat looking tree. We came down off of this guy. Tapping it in, riding over the top. Little things, little bits. Nothing too crazy, my friends. Boop, just like that. Wherever we want. Now wipe off your brush and go back. You're gonna have to load it multiple times. Don't try to force it. Don't try to force it, man. Little bits. Sometimes moss doesn't go all the way out, right? We're deciding as we tap it in, and you can only get so many little tappies before all of a sudden you've picked up too much plaque and you don't have the right mixture anymore to drop off of your brush. Get some off of this guy. Back over here. A little bit. Wherever they want to be. Yeah, guys, this one's looking rad. Has nobody grabbed this one yet? For real? For realsies? For realsies? Nobody's gotten this one? Okay. All right. I use oils. We're using oil paints, Elise. Thank you for being here. Remember, guys, this one's available over on paintwithjosh.com. You just got to be the first person there to get it. A little bit. Brighten these guys up just a touch. Not everywhere's got to be so bright. But the more that you touch onto that plaque, the more green it will make our yellow, right? If we really want it to stand out, then it needs to be truly bright. Just truly bright. As bright as it can be. Where's that spot? Oh, is that? There we go. Boop. One little branch. He wants to be there. He was screaming at me like, Josh, let me be right here. Just right there. Right out there. Little guy. A little friend in the night. Right? Wherever, guys, let them happen, and we just don't want to do too much, right? You do too much, and you become too much. Little things, they don't all have to go, right? Just trying to catch some of the light on top of the dark, not the other way around. Maybe this guy's going from this side, but I can tell that I don't have the right mixture of paint because I tapped at it a couple times, and guess what? It didn't come off of my brush very easily, so I knew I didn't have the right mix. Out there, one little tap, boop, right? Where do you want them to be, guys? Because that's where they get to be. For all time, they get to be there because you said that they got to be there. That's literally the only reason. You're allowing them to be there. That's the whole thing. Okay, so like I said, if you go to paintwithjosh.com, the very first thing you're going to run into on my site is this painting. Of course, there's no photo of it because I didn't have it finished. We're literally doing it live right now. Right? So, if you want to grab this one and support my business, head over to paintwithjosh.com, please, and you can grab this one before anybody else. That's the key. There's only one, right? So, if you go over there, you're going to want to be the first one here if you want to grab it. Now, let's also throw a couple little highlights onto our very far away little tree back here. It just needs a little bit of our sap green, a little bit of our liquid white just to help come off the brush. Literally it. Right? Tapping onto him, and then little taps. We don't want to show anything too brightly. We don't want to cover all the dark, right? This guy's further away. So, we can do less things, right? As long as there's a bit of green with that plaque mix, it does not have to be as bright as day, right? It really doesn't. It really doesn't. We'll go back to a little bit of our yellow, cad yellow, just to brighten it in different spaces. But you don't want it to be too bright, and you don't want it to be too detailed, If it's too detailed, then it's too close. You know what I mean? We want it to look far away. So keep it out there. And one more thing, my guys and gals and painting pals, we need to come up with a title for this painting. We gotta title this old guy. Well, brand new little guy, but you know what I mean. I need your help to title this painting. So what would you think it would be called? And I'm gonna throw a little of my plaque mix in here, just at the bottom of our little rocky area above our tree down here. Right, we're gonna throw some off of there, cover over his base, just so we have a bigger bit of darkness. Right down there. Right, scrape it down into our water, just a little. Right there. Now it's wrapped around all the way up here. And we can come back if we have any more of our brown paint, which I doubt that we do. We didn't. Right, so a little bit of our brown, a little bit of our yellow ochre, just drag it out through there. There we go. Leave it marble, don't over mix it. Come down here, start tapping it in, right? Kind of attaching it onto the brighter spot that's over there, and remembering that we need to leave areas of dark. You have to. You cannot have it just be pure brightness all the time. Even if you're dragging the knife, you have to leave those areas of dark. Please, just please leave the dark. I'm begging you. If you don't, you're not going to like it. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you as a friend and a pal that you will not like it if it's too bright. Right? Leave those darker areas, especially towards the backside. Especially towards the backside. All right, get any amount of our brown. There we go. Stick on down here. Gorgeous. Literally fantastic, my friends. Take a little bit of this color, wherever you want it to live. Pull it down about all the way that you can get it. Drag it over a touch. Blend away, and you'll have your little shadow back underneath there, right? Oh, it's so cool. Man, now we gotta throw in our sand, guys, and then we'll be all set-a-rooski. So you start coming up with some titles. What do you think this one would be called? Let me know. We're gonna get our small fan brush and a bit of our odorless mineral spirits, so our brush cleaner, right? And we want to make that plaque just as wet as it was when we had our branches, right? But now we're going to take this guy and fling out off of our knife or palette knife or whatever, fling out these black specks into our sand. Okay? We're going to need our paint thinner again over here into the brown, and we want it wet enough that it will form a little pile. There we go. A little pile of wetness in there. Again, put that guy out here on the edge. Stand back. Be gentle when you go flicking these guys out there, right? A couple little flicks, and it'll leave cool little rocks and pebbles and all sorts of stuff. Now, the kicker to the sand is this one ingredient right here. What is this one bit of paint that I'm putting out here? This is the kicker to our whole sandy area. The thing that makes it look the best. What is it? Okay, does anybody know out there? Anybody in the world know this? Thank you, I appreciate it. Remember, you can grab this one if you go to my store. Liquid white is the question, guys. Liquid white, the Forgotten Cove. That's cool. All right, let's get in here. With that liquid white, we're going to drag our brush through it, which is going to bend the bristles and launch them. All right, and we'll start throwing out little white specks out there. When you get with these little white specks, it starts looking like sand. Doesn't that look like sand? Isn't that amazing? Just so simple and so easily, you guys. Throw some sand out there in the night. Man, I love these seascapes more than anything, man. Very cool. If you're thinking to yourself, man, I want to do an ocean scene, but I bet you they're really hard. I'm telling you right now, from a person that said the same exact thing as you just said, they're so much easier. They're literally so much easier. You use less paint. We try not to cover over the entire canvas, you know what I mean? And it's just so much easier to do. And when I found that out, then seascapes became my favorite thing to paint, you know what I mean? Once you find out lot easier than it is to do a giant mountain, you know what I mean? You can do a big old mountain, and that's a lot of paint. In a seascape, it's not so much, so it's a little easier. Dries a little faster too. Okay, we got a couple brushes left. You guys come up with a title for this painting. Remember, if you purchase it during the show, then you get to decide what title it actually gets to have forever. Right? You can either choose from all the suggestions, or you can come up with your own. But you gotta get it if you want to be the titler. If not, then you may be chosen at random, and you might not be. So if you've got the best title, you think, right? You're like, you know what? This painting is speaking to me. I gotta have it, and I have the best title. Then go to paintwithjosh.com. Grab that very first thing, painting 1702, number 1702. And that's just how many paintings I've painted in my career. Which seems like a lot now that I say it out loud. That seems like just a whole ton of paintings. Take this guy, drag it off the back a little bit, just kind of creating our same oceany look that we have, but on the side. And it's only for the purchasers, the only person who will ever see the side of the canvas, right? Only the purchaser. Throw our sand on this side. We are all set, my friends. Guys and gals and painting pals. So, we're going to need a title from you very soon. Type it out right now. I'm almost done cleaning these brushes. And then we'll be all shadorooski. Don't know why I find that so funny. I just do. Okay. This, that. Throw down the old signature. So we'll do our little tree, or our birds. My head is really hurting, guys. It's really hurting. I got a wicked headache today. Let's take these guys. Just go like this. Just go caca, flying in the night. All the way back in here so we can roost right down here on the beach, man. I don't know if the birds roost. I don't know if that's true or not. It's the chickens that come home to roost. Exactly. The chickens. There we go. So remember, if you like this one, be sure that you're the first person over to paintwithjosh.com. Otherwise, it may be gone by the time you go looking for it. You never know. Really cool, though. Really cool. I think I would drop this down a little bit. Zip. Change its angle just a little. All right, got our spot out there. That's looking cool. Some of these guys off. Let's make it a little softer in the night back there. Little things, little things. Plus, I would imagine there would be some form of tumultuousness around the shore where it's crashing. So you gotta have some different waves and different stuff out there. But for the most part, guys, seriously, like, you can do this. You can. Don't tell me you can't. I already know you can. You can do it. It's there. It's ready. It's waiting for you. You just gotta get out there and try it, right? Grab the right supplies. Get out there. Try some stuff, man. There we go. Change that line back there. It was irritating me. There we go. Guys, very cool. Okay. So we're going to need a title. You guys title it. And if it is unsold, then I'll have to choose a title for it, right? Let's see. Man, nobody grabbed this one, huh? Guys, that hurts my feelings a little. Just a little bit. I don't know. Just a little. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Mysterious trees. Man, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Oh, Kelly, it's so wood. The tree amigos, that's funny. That's funny right there, guys. I like that. Tree amigos, because they're trees. And that movie, The Three Amigos. No, I have to explain it to you, really? Really? Man, that's cool. A little bummed it didn't go, but that's all right. We'll just do the one show tonight and call it a day. That'd be fine. That would be fine. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. guys. Okay. Man, it's looking cool. All right, I think Tree Amigos is an excellent title for this painting. So whoever came up with that, guy, that is a winner in my book. That's a winner in my book. I'm gonna take my blue, and now that we can access the top of the canvas, right, which I already primed with my liquid white. That way it would drag very easily across the canvas right here as I was doing this part, right? Don't need it to be all forceful when I'm out here doing this when the painting's already finished. And I did that one thing too much, you know what I mean? It could be bad. So, a little bit of blue. Let's turn this guy around. Big old Pro Series canvas. Fantastic. But you gotta be the first person over there or you're gonna miss out. That guy. All you need to do once you're in my store is look for number 1702. And if it's gone, it's gone. If not, it's here right now. But if you're watching this in the future, it might have already sold. Let's see. Tree Amigos. I think that's hilariously funny. And right on point, right? Paint on 2/14 of 2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com because it's the best place ever, man. Looks like a hash dot. Tree Amigos, I like that. Very, very cool, guys. Came out amazingly. I was hoping we could get to see this one in a light party, but rules are rules, man. We have them in place for a reason. Maybe I'll have to do a light party for myself after I shut the cameras down. I'll do a light party for my own self. Like a solo light party. Me and the lights here in the studio. Man, it looks so good, you guys. Looks so good. Okay. Now, if we do anything else to it, right? Any little thing else, and I might just add a bit of our mossiness kind of coming down. You know what I mean? Like some of these guys, it's going to be on the rocks. It's going to be trying to grow everywhere. Doesn't need to be all over, right? But it's going to be trying. It's going to try to get all over. That's what that stuff does. It's just trying to get more water. Get down closer. Back here. Up in there. Right? Not everywhere. Not everywhere. Don't do it too much. Little things, little taps. Wipe off our brush. Go back. Little things, guys. Little bits. Here. Some little guys. Little things. Little bits of stuff trying to grow. Right? This rock, this tree fell into a crevice of a rock. It just started growing. It started growing. That way. Ooh, life will find a way, you guys. Very cool. A couple little bits down there. They get further away, so don't put as many. As you keep going further, right, they get harder to see. It's very small. The moss isn't such a crazily big thing. It's a very small little thing. Let's get off of these guys. Little bits, right? Just growing. Oh, man. That's cool. I don't know about you guys. I think it's pretty cool. Beep. Right there. Trying to reach out onto our sandiness at the bottom, guys. Woo! So, Tree Amigos, perfect title. Who came up with that title? Do we know the person in the comments that came up with that title? Because that's awesome. One of my favorite movies, too. Like, back in the day, right, in my generation, back in my day, like, my grandpa, he was a cool grandpa, right? And he would watch, like, inappropriate things with me when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like, old comedies like, what was that one? History of the World Part 1 by Mel Brooks. You know what I mean? It's just not the thing that you watch with a growing boy. But I remember all those old movies and the Three Amigos, and it just brings back memories. So thank you to whoever came up with that title. And I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty stinking neat. So let's clean off the last bit, and then we'll get up on out of here, especially if this one hasn't sold. User 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flower came up with this painting. It came up with the title anyway. Excellent title. I love it. Really, really, really fantastic. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to wipe the towel. Pineapples in the rose garden, everybody. Holy moly. Forgot what I was going to do. There we go. And all it was is cleaning up my area. So you guys have been amazing. If you watch me on Facebook or YouTube, you're only watching... Well, actually, if you watch me on Facebook, you're only watching 20% of what you could be watching. Right? We also go live on YouTube every night. For the first painting is live. Second painting is live on TikTok, right? And we go live on TikTok 2 times a night, most nights. Tonight, we might call it because this one didn't find a home, and I want to go home. I'm starving. I've been here way too long today, so we may just do the one show. You guys know my rule, man. If somebody came in and grabbed it, then I would have to come back. But it's okay. You know what I could do, too? Just because I got these things that are brand new, I almost forgot about them, you guys. I'm going to give away. We're going to do a little giveaway. If you grab this pan, is it not gone yet? Is it still there? I'm one of the Three Stooges. That's funny. Is it still in the store, guys? Because if so, you're about to get something fancy if you grab this one. Thank you, Awareness. Appreciate you guys watching from South Australia. You guys are amazing. Love those trees. Can't find the store. It's my screen name, Paint with Josh. And then add the .com on the end, right? If you get this painting during the live show, I may just give you a signed poster print that we just got. Just got 2 of these in today, so there's only 2 of these in existence, right? You can hang it on the back. Very cool. If you grab it during the live show, just within the next minute or 2, right? Because then we're going to get up on out of here and go have some dinner with Bailey and her friend who's spending the night and all that craziness. Boom, ba boom, ba boom. Thank you, Max Squatch. Cosmic Lighthouse is here. Cosmic Sea Lion Caves. You guys. Dude, look at that. Oh, it's just so cool. Just so cool. Forgotten Cove. That's a neat title as well. That's a neat one. But we've already gone with the Tree Amigos because there's 3 trees and they're made of trees. Right? Man, I don't even, like, it's everything I want to do. I just gotta leave it. I just gotta leave it because it's so rough. The water's like rough looking and just wicked cool. Just wicked cool, guys. Cosmic Lighthouse in the building. See how popular Cosmic is? Everybody comes in and they all start, she comes in and they all start saying hi to Cosmic because she's like famous in the Paint with Josh comments section. She's the real deal. The bee's knees. And she just got back from Iowa. It's apparently not the best time. I mean, if you think about Iowa, like, what is it really to do fun? Is there anybody watching from Iowa? If so, what do you do? There's nothing there. Like, what do you do? If not, I'm glad at least that she's back home. Back home. Away from all the crap food. Man, look at this tree, you guys. Okay, I don't want to do anything else. That one looks amazing. I gotta get out of here, or we're just gonna keep touching it, right? So, all you guys over on Facebook and on YouTube, you guys have been amazing. I love yous. I'm sad we didn't get to do a light party on this one, but rules are rules, right? Gotta have the rules for a reason. And I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. Please send it into facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh or Instagram.com/paintwithjoshk. You can send me photos on both of those. You can also email my website and find me around, right? Drop it in the comments of one of my posts on Facebook if you want. I'll still see it. So, beyond that, you guys, you two anyway, have been amazing, and I can't wait to come back. And we'll do it again on Monday on Facebook, and then tomorrow night over on YouTube. So, until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and blah, blah. Boosh!